All right, friends, it's T-Man. We're back again with a good friend, JasonBlaha. We're going to do a reaction video to the gym, lifting, recruiting, gear, fitness slave himself, JasonBlaha. All right, man. Blaha says, every person on earth comes from a line of 1,000 champions. Oh, brother. Okay.
All right, listen up. Every single one of you come from a line of thousands of conquerors and champions and winners. Okay? So I'm going to chat with
I know he's going to try to say that we share DNA because it's spread out. Yeah, the DNA's pretty much, I forgot what they were talking about in science. They say that the amount of DNA is limited out there because a lot of people are dying. So that pool is kind of like, that pool shortens over time because people are being killed. These warriors, they're fighting, whatever. So that pool is kind of like, you know. But yeah, I know in Italy they wouldn't hire city people to fight because they're weak. They would go out into farms and hire farmers because they went through hardships and they were stronger. So yeah, and then they would train them. They were easily trained and they were much better at fighting, these farmers, than these city people because they're weak.
you guys and gals a little bit about this today. This is one of these topics. I was in a conversation with a client of mine last night in a video call. In fact, you guys remember client Nick from the blogs, guy who lost over 200 pounds and was running marathons in his 40s, and I was putting his vlogs up of
Nick, who lost 200 pounds, he was running marathons to destroy himself. Yes, let me go run marathons because I ate a slave diet. I gained 200 pounds. Now I starved myself. I still don't know what I'm doing. So I starved myself to lose the weight. And I'm running marathons so I can accelerate aging and destroy myself. My joints, my body, and myself. Yes, okay.
training that guy. Ooh. We were talking about this. We had a 2-hour client coach call, and I brought this up,
Coach is losing a lot of fat there. You know, when you lose too much body fat, it's actually unhealthy for you. This is a bad thing, bro. Yeah. But okay, let Coach keep losing that body fat. He wants to entertain you.
We were talking about people talking about...
Not like he has anything else going for him, any hot dates or anything like that, or playing any sports out there, enjoying his life, maybe shooting a couple of hoops of basketball. Yeah, he wants to lift this heavyweight, okay?
Blaming their genetics for the inability to accomplish this.
The question is this: if he's out to lose as much body fat as he can to show you what's under the hood, why is he lifting this heavy weight right here? Look at him. Look how red he is. Jesus. This is incredible, bro. What a face.
That, or their lack of potential, and all of these things, right? And kind of a point I brought up with that, and I'm not saying different people don't have different genetic traits, but what I am...
Yeah, different strokes for different folks, yes.
I'm going to say, when you...
I work freelance. I have to take care of my business.
Historically, pretty much all the inferior genes died out. They're all gone.
I love this. All the inferior genes had died out. No, they haven't died out. They're just in you.
When you look at humanity collectively...
What kind of genes did Blaha get?
And you look all over the world, what happened?
You notice that Blaha does the exact same weight, the exact same exercise day in, day out. Is that going to build you muscle? Is that going to damage muscle? Is that going to build you a muscle? Well, it depends. I don't know how many carbs he's eating. How much carbs is he eating to build some artificial muscles? And is he damaging them? No, definitely not, because he's adapted to all these exercises. So there's no more adaptations there. But okay, whatever, man.
The survivors, the conquerors, the champions. That's who made it, okay?
I don't know, man. The majority of people out there in the beginning, they were hunting for food. That's what they would do. I don't know about this conquering and fighting and all that. That came much later when they started acting. When they started growing brains, they wanted to act. Humans wanted to become actors. So they've developed these cities and things, whatever. Like Mayans, like I don't know, fucking Egyptians, and who knows even what was before that. That's as far as we could see back. Maybe there were other civilizations and they disappeared. We don't know for sure. Nobody does, man. Who knows? Who knows what's been happening on this planet?
That's who made it and survived. Survival of the fittest, survival of the most adaptable.
He doesn't know that for sure. He's fabricating that. He's making it up. There's no proof.
How many generations of humans have gone through this?
He has no proof.
Let's not even get into any other evolutionary history. Let's just talk about our species, humans. Let's talk about Homo sapien, us. This group. Every single one of you had ancestors who were the baddest. I mean the baddest mofos for hundreds of miles. Okay?
Yeah, I really doubt that, man. I really doubt that. There's a lot of people out there. They were the sheep, and then there were the warriors. He may have come from the sheep clan, the sheep, not the warriors.
Your ancestors probably conquered.
Well, maybe back then the ancestors, when they were eating meat, their natural diet, natural food as a carnivore meat, they were tough, for sure. But because we're so domesticated, we are not even close to those warriors. So I don't know what Blaha is talking about, because the people here constantly eat salad and Fruit Loops and Cocoa Puffs and shit. They eat garbage all day, fruits and vegetables. They're so domesticated at this point, eating an unnatural diet, a fake diet, that so-called awareness has been washed out. Unless you go back into nature to find out what you'd look like as a warrior, I really doubt you'll ever know. And Blaha, he thinks that lifting weights and still eating an artificial diet will undomesticate him. Good luck with that, dude.
And destroyed and subjugated everybody around them. Okay? At some point.
Yeah, there were groups that came and they destroyed and subjugated them. There's some places where they were farming, and then these so-called marauders would come and they ate meat, all right? They ate their natural diet. They were the ones that destroyed these weak groups that started farming. Yeah. They subjugated them, for sure, because they domesticated themselves.
I mean, it happened in every continent, every area. I mean, even North America.
A well-fed army is a strong army, especially on their natural diet. But if they ate a fake diet, what did you expect, right? You know what I mean? They were easily subjugated, especially if they were a starving army. They didn't have any food or anything. They'd be decimated.
Let's even look at Native Americans. Even when other people got over here and found the continent, you had a bunch of war tribes over here.
Yeah, they were the bunch of war tribes here, but the Europeans that came over were much more advanced. And they poisoned the natives, trying to feed them an artificial diet and alcohol, which is poison made from plants. So they try to feed them several plant foods, and they poisoned them. That's what they did. And then after they poisoned them, they wiped out their food supply, which was the bison and a bunch of things. And they slowly dwindled. Their numbers dwindled because, infiltrate from within, man. They took them. They got them off guard. They try to domesticate them by feeding them plant foods. Yeah, and weaken them.
Who were the baddest mofos? Who had pretty much ran everything around them. They pretty much.
Yeah, but where are they now, Blaha? Where are all the native people in North America, Canada, Mexico, South America? Where are they all? Well, okay, in South America, there's some hanging around still, whatever. But they too have been domesticated. They're eating fake diets now.
Just conquered everything. Comanches, Apache. Like, these were the dominant groups. Bad mofos.
I like the word dominant until they got dominated.
But it happened everywhere. So you go look at each individual section of the world and go look it through the history you can find. Look at all the conquerors. Okay? The weak, they got pretty much killed off.
Oh man, the only thing that matters is what's going on now, not the past. You're domesticated.
Then we come over to disease resistance. The ability to travel. I mean, my God, step back and look at just the idea of humanity spreading out from a pretty small area all across the world. Like, step back and think about the sort of people who are the ones who decided, you know what, I'm going to branch out. I'm going to explore. Right? Who decided they were going to come across there all the way up into Europe? Conquerors. Who decided they were going to go from the northern part of Africa down into the southern part? Conquerors. People who were explorers. All the way into Asia. All the way across the Bering Strait. Explorers. People who pushed the envelope.
Explorers who pushed the envelope. Okay, what does that have to do with anything?
And they all went all over the planet, figured out how to eat, how to survive in harsh, untamed environments everywhere. And they tamed those environments around them and thrived in them. Like, your ancestors.
Can you imagine Blaha out in that environment? He's going to be taming it, all right. He'd be crying.
No matter where you came from, traveled from somewhere and thrived.
With all this lifting, you'd think his body would have adapted by now by constantly building muscle. Why isn't it building any more muscle? Why isn't it adapting and building muscle? Why? All this lifting, bro. Should be a warrior by now.
In an area with new foods and plants and animals they had never seen.
Blaha should have like fucking 23-inch arms, 24 even, 25. How come he's not adapting? Why is he not adapting? What's going on here? Something's going on here. It's not adapting.
And they spread out and thrived and adapted and overcame. And then after
they thrived and they adapted and they overcame. You know, do you understand what adaptation means? It means to protect. That's what it means. It means it's a protection. That's what it is. A means of protection. Your body protects you from something. It does some specific thing to protect from you dying or being destroyed.
After that happened, as those populations grew, after the weak and the timid and the non-innovators didn't make the cut.
The non-innovators didn't make the cut? What is he talking about?
Then what happened? Populations grew, they warred, they conflicted, they raided each other.
They enslaved people. They didn't want to work. That's why. Inherently, human beings are lazy, and they want to enslave other people, get them to do the work for them. That's why they invented this system called money. You understand me? They created this thing called money, a trade system. And that's how they enslave people. How does America enslave the world? By putting out its dollars, having the world use its money. Get it? That's how they enslave them. In debt. They enslave you with debt, with their debt. That's how they do it. So they live a comfortable lifestyle, a rich, comfortable lifestyle. How do you think America runs? The system in North America runs like that, the way it does. Why does everybody want to get in there? Everybody wants to go there. Why? So they can be part of the slave masters, get it? So they can be part of it. They don't want to be enslaved. They want to be part of the system where the system is slaving the other people outside. It's the whole point. So they're all jumping to get in there.
Throughout human history, who was left? Winners. The winners, the conquerors.
The winners, the conquerors. Well, how'd that work out for the Nazi party? Not so good, did it? The winners and the conquerors. How'd that work out for the winners and the conquerors like Russia? They conquered the Nazis, didn't they? Oh, man.
Every single one of you were to find a way to dig back through your whole family tree and go back 200 generations.
I mean, it was the Russians that practically conquered the Japanese. The Americans came in and threw those 2 bombs in because they were scared that they would come on their side. That's why. Yeah.
You come from
They were scared that they would surrender to the Russians.
a line of absolute hardcore serious savages.
Oh, yeah.
You come from a line of people who conquered everything around them. In fact, you probably come from a line of chieftains who probably had a...
I think Blaha comes from a line of farmers. They farmed. They farmed vegetables and some vegetables. That's what they were doing. He looks like it too.
harem of 20 women and were the baddest mofo in the whole tribe.
Nah, I'm just joking. Nah, he looks like a city person, one of those city people. The kind that were in Italy, living in around the Colosseum. They were weak. They were weak. They were not considered warriors, and if they had to train a city person to fight, wow, they had to go through grueling things. Definitely, yeah. No, that's embarrassing to say. He comes from a family of farmers, because farmers work hard. They're built. He's not built.
Fathered 20 children. Okay, think about all that for a minute.
Fathered 20 children. Blaha doesn't have any children.
Every one of you have at least 100 people like that in your family line. Every single one of us has it in our genetic code. And I don't care where you came from. I don't care. I don't care if you came originally from England, Nigeria, India, right? It doesn't matter. Korea. Okay? You come from the Incas, you come from the Comanches in North America. Okay? I don't care. Step back and start looking. You carry the genetic code for greatness. Like every single one of us come from such a line of just conquerors who did epic, legendary stuff. It's in your family.
Yeah, I come from a line of conquerors. I was conquering a lot of women, as many as I could conquer. That's right. By planting my seed.
Line. That's in your.
How many has Blaha conquered and planted his seed? A zero. What a waste, eh? What a waste. Look, man, your job is to get as many women pregnant as you can. That's the whole point out there. Plant your seed. That's a warrior. What do you think? What do you think Cortez did when he came to the New World? They even talk about it. They say impregnated 40 women. Now, he impregnated more than 40 women. They gave him women there to impregnate. Yeah, he was a conqueror. He was conquering. You say, well, he conquered the New World. No, that's not how you conquer the New World. He colonized the New World. Don't you get it? That's how you conquer. You conquer by colonizing. When these armies come in and they kill the men, there's the women there. What do? They conquer the women. That's what they do by colonizing. That's why you find their DNA there. You can find their DNA's been left behind. Get it? That's the whole thing. Blaha's got it all upside down. But okay, whatever. But yeah, I mean, you could say, yeah, the DNA warrior, blah, whatever. They conquered these people and they planted their seeds. That's what they were doing, really. Yeah.
Genes.
But again, you've been domesticated. So what has happened to your genes? You're domesticated. You've domesticated yourself. To undomesticate yourself, you're going to have to go back out there in nature.
We're born for greatness. You were born to be a winner. You were born to do epic shit.
You're born to do all these things, but guess what? You're not, unfortunately. Okay. Why do you think they invented steroids? And then they give it to these Olympians because they're domesticated. If they were undomesticated, could you imagine what they could possibly do naturally? Wow, that'd be incredible to find out, but you're never going to find out. The only way that you'll get a glimpse by them injecting steroids. That's why Blaha has to inject steroids, because he's so domesticated at this point. And then, I mean, it's just garbage anyways, injecting these plant genetics in you. Now you're injecting them. Christ. Trying to lift a heavy weight, doing weird shit in the gym, in a garage.
Hey, I don't even care where you came from. If you go back and look, that's your family line. And it's not going to just be a couple of them. You're going to have hundreds of them all the way back.
I think he's getting ready for a bodybuilding competition.
You descend from conquerors and champions,
Oh, yeah.
absolute winners and explorers and innovators
Okay.
who pushed the envelope. There's no excuses. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.
Yeah, I'll see you in the next one, friends. Tell us what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. Blaha, Domesticated. He's trying to convince you from a long line. You're from a long line of domesticated humans, unfortunately. See you in the next one. Ciao.